It was only a matter of time, but Snap finally filed its S-1 paperwork with the SEC, kicking off its much-anticipated pursuit to take the company public with a goal of a $3 billion IPO. So that's why I was doing the finger on the mouth. It was $3 billion. The stock will trade on the New York Stock Exchange as, well, what else? Snap, of course. In the filing, CEO Evan Spiegel controls 44.3% of the company. Zuckerberg, by the way, Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, by comparison, owned 28.2% of Facebook when it went public. So Snapchat, ooh, big deal. Co-founder and CTO Bobby Murphy also controls another 44.3%. Based on what this filing says, Evan and Bobby are each worth about $3.7 billion in company stock as of December.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
good for them.
This is good. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Snapchat. I think that the chatter on Twitter about Snapchat was not so good. I think there's, a lot of people thinking, well, it's worth that. It's worth what? Because what is it really? And, Alex Kantrowitz, we talked to him last week, and he said, don't bet on Snapchat. Don't bet on it. He wasn't giving financial advice or anything like that. But he has a great piece on BuzzFeed about 10 numbers from today. And one of them was that Spiegel borrowed $15 million from his own company last year from Snap. And he paid it back.
Got to get a pair of shoes.
Well, no, he has to have security. That's what it was for. Because, everybody. Okay. So I don't know.
It's a business expense.
I guess so. But this is, this could be it could be a good bellwether for the IPOs, or it could be the very top, and we're just going to go down from here. It's the biggest IPO since Alibaba in 2014. And this is the slowest year for IPOs since the financial crisis. So everyone is excited about it. Whether it's worth being excited about, I'm not sure.
Certainly have a lot to prove, right? They named themselves Snap because they wanted to get in this whole camera thing with the spectacles as being kind of like the kickoff of that. And what did I see here? I'm trying to find it in my notes because, wow, I took a lot of notes. Basically, the camera company that they are, and as part of the filing, Snap is a camera company. Meanwhile, all they really have are spectacles, limited release. They have plans to widen that out in 2017, but they even say in there, and it makes perfect sense at this point because it was limited release, that the amount of money that they've made off of spectacles at this point is immaterial to anything. So I just find it interesting that a company claims it is one thing when really it's only recently that one thing, and hardly.
Well, I think it means it's a camera company like the camera in the app. I think that's probably what they mean.
But that's not a camera company. It's an app company. They make an app and a social network. I don't understand how you can call yourself a camera company if the camera is part of the phone and the app just takes pictures.
Well, I think the camera is integral to the app, and that's the way some people use the app. They only use the camera. They use it all day, every day. I've seen this with younger people who eventually will be older and will be,
Nope. That's a lie.
This is ingrained in their lives. It's not chat. I mean, it is chatting, but it's all chatting through the camera.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think that's probably what they mean because
I feel like it's a stretch still, though.
I don't know. I mean, because it's fundamentally different than Twitter or Facebook in that sense, that you are interacting purely through your camera with other people, whether it's video or still photos, with the filters, with the augmented reality like we talked about yesterday. I think that's what makes it different, and that's what makes it so appealing to mostly younger people.
Would you consider Instagram to be a camera company? Because, I mean, I consider that a social network. I mean, I consider Snapchat a social network / messaging platform. It's hard for me to, talk about it as a camera company. And I'm trying to understand why that is their choice. Is it because social networks are so, you don't really know the long-term effect of what a social network is going to be capable of? Twitter, as a prime example, probably had the greatest ambitions to take Twitter as a social network and broaden it out as far and wide as a company like Facebook has been successful in doing over the last 13 years. But it kind of hit a point where it's okay, well, we've got to really reel this back. Social networks, just in general, they catch a lot of fire early on. We've seen it a million times. And then it's like they either capitalize on something new or they peter out. Maybe that's why. Part of Snap's kind of plan to peg itself as a camera company is to kind of help it along with the IPO by putting it in a different category than just a social network or just a messaging platform.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that the other integral part of, the part why they're valued so high is their ability to advertise, and that's part of the camera too. I mean, you're adding the advertisements into the camera. That is very different than Instagram. There's nothing on Instagram that it's all separate advertising. But with
you're talking
Snapchat,
about like the filters,
yeah,
and
the
stuff.
filters.
Okay.
Like they've been the only one that people have accepted into the camera, that these advertising. But you're right. I mean, they have the whole Snap stories, and they have, they do have a separate, like the New York Times now will have a Snap story. So they are bigger than that. But I think that what they're trying to say is this is what makes us different. At the heart, we are people's camera onto the world, which I don't love that idea. Like I don't love that people are living through the world by sending pictures of things. That means you're not actually living your life.
We've been doing that for a while, though. The whole smartphone generation has kind of has made that. Obviously the social network takes that to another level. But man, like you go to a concert, how many people are recording the concert instead of watching it with their eyeballs? I know I'm guilty of it. It's just the plague of having a device in your pocket that can take a picture all the time. You feel like, okay, well then I guess I should be taking a picture all the time instead of enjoying what's in front of me. So that's they're all guilty of that, I guess.